This episode is sponsored by Fizz in Linden.
Fizz is our very favorite place to get sodas, coffees, smoothies, energy drinks, and snacks.
Check out Fizz in Linden today for all of your drinking needs. Welcome back to Senior Sessions. I'm one of your co-hosts, Courtney Clayson, and this is Ocean Marshall. And today we have Porter Watts.
Hello.
So exciting.
Pretty cool. Today we have a Tropical Paradise. That's
Yummy.
the drink. It has Mountain Dew, coconut, and blue Curaçao.
And guava.
And guava. So,
Yummy.
Yeah.
I filled these low-key really full, so.
That's actually good.
It's
Yeah.
really good. Oh, I spilled it.
Gonna be honest, I don't drink a ton of soda,
Yeah.
so I kind of just looked at whatever tasted good,
Yeah.
and tropical sounds nice.
Sounds
Let's go for
nice.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
yummy. This one's
And
actually
it's like fully green too, which is kind of
yeah,
cute.
it's kind of cute.
Yeah.
Matches our
That's just
aesthetic.
our aesthetic here. It's
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah, the blue Curaçao really hits it for me.
Really hits it.
Delicious. Anyways, let's just get right into the questions. So, when and why did you come to Mazer?
So I came to Mazer in 7th grade. My brother, that's directly older than me, he was a senior, and all of my other siblings went to Orem Junior and went to Timpanogos. This brother, he had special needs, so he could not go to a public school. He would be eaten alive and spit out.
Oh, that's
So
sad.
they found Mazer for him, and it worked so well for him, and they were like, hey, he's the only other kid in school right now, let's just have you go to Mazer.
Yeah.
And I personally really didn't want to go to Mazer. I didn't want to be associated with my older brother.
It's so sad.
I know, sixth grade me was a punk.
No, it's true. We all go through that.
But-
Yeah.
But I came and I was like, okay, fine, I'll do middle school at Mazer, and then for high school I'm going to Timp. That was my decision, and then my parents were okay with that. But I got to freshman year in 10th grade, and I had found my niche with theater people and found my friends and things that I loved doing, and had completely forgotten about Timpanogos.
Yeah, no reason
Yeah.
to leave
Yeah.
at that point.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I feel like throughout doing this podcast, it's kind of like a common theme of I don't want to go, and then you go, and then you're like,
Wait.
I don't want to leave.
I don't wanna leave.
You actually end up loving it, and
Yeah.
that's such a cool thing, and finding your niche is really nice.
Yeah.
So what was your first impression, 7th grade, when you first came?
So the first thing I remember was biking to school to take the math placement test before school even started.
Biking to school does not make it any better.
I know.
Well, I thankfully live a block away, which
Oh,
is
really?
really convenient.
That's nice.
It's gonna suck when Senior Assassins happens because easiest target ever, but
It's okay.
it's fine. For everything else, super convenient. So I remember biking there and just walking into a room and recognizing absolutely nobody. And then on the first day of school, I had math class first period, and sitting down, and half of my table wasn't there because they were coming a week late.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, this is how I die. There was good things, I knew Michael Baxter and Aaron Velasco because of Scouts, and they were in my stake, so I already knew them and was pretty close friends with them. And I actually had every class with Michael Baxter that first 7th grade year, so he was how I ended up associating and became comfortable with Mazer.
Yeah, for sure. That's
Oh,
cool.
I love that. Okay, so do you have a teacher that was a role model for you, or that's just your favorite?
I love Dowdle. I love Ms.
For sure.
They're just really intelligent and thoughtful about their opinions and their stances on things. Gerber is always a blast. She's just super funny, and taking her classes are just it makes you feel good. So
yeah, for sure.
So those ones I enjoy.
Yeah, for sure.
I love all three of them. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so you mentioned... Yeah, you did. Okay, I was like, well, did he? Yeah, he did. Okay. You're in drama. That's kind of your thing.
Yep.
So how did you, like, start going to drama? Was it in 7th grade, or did you do it before that?
My first play was in 6th grade. I was like, oh, want to give this a try. It was 101 Dalmatians.
That's fun. Were you a Dalmatian?
I was not.
Oh.
It was the police officer. He comes in, he has one scene, like at the end. It was a role that had a lot of speaking parts, but no singing parts. And I was pretty sure that I got that role only because I was a 6th grader and had seniority.
Yeah.
And that bothered me. So starting 7th grade, I was like, I want to take drama. I want to
prove myself.
I want to actually earn roles and stuff.
Yeah.
And so started doing that. And then haven't looked back since.
The rest is history.
The rest is history. I didn't do Shakespeare my 7th grade year because I was concerned about the price tag. One of my biggest mistakes and regrets there.
Yeah.
But then started in 8th grade and have done Shakespeare every year since. I had an ensemble lead my freshman year, which was great. This year I have a trio scene, which I'm so excited about.
Yeah. What's our trio scene?
So the trio scene this year is, the one that I'm doing is King John.
Ooh.
Mulestein is playing King John, and he basically asks my character, Hubert, to go and remove the eyes of Arthur, who is like the next in line, the heir to the throne. And Arthur is just the sweetest, kindest kid like ever. And so King John's like, he's in my way, you gotta get rid of him. And Hubert is really conflicted, and he's like, I have to, I promised I would kill you and I would take your eyes out. And Hubert is like, please don't. I kind of like my eyes.
Who plays Arthur?
Arthur's played by Sam Cole.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, and that's really fun. Sam Cole hasn't had any speaking lines in Shakespeare before, but he is a really talented actor. And so it's really cool as we're going through, we went through the preliminary read-throughs and stuff, and Mulestein and I picked it up pretty quick because we're used to doing actually saying the Shakespeare. And Sam started out kind of struggling, but he each run through the improvement was crazy. And so that was really cool.
That's cool.
And done Shakespeare, I've done State since 9th grade, and a lot of great stuff there. So.
Yeah, for sure. So cool. So what's your favorite role that you've ever played?
Ooh, okay. I really loved playing Buckingham in the Shakespeare freshman scene. That was really fun because Buckingham is a very religious guy, and he was betrayed by King Henry and is about to have his head chopped off, and is like, okay, you know what, screw it, I forgive you. And so that was a very fun character to play. Aside from that, I have played a remarkable amount of father figures. Most of them are really bad.
Not the daddy issues coming out.
Yeah, it started out in Xanadu. I played Zeus, which is the worst father to ever exist. Yeah. He wins the Bad Father Award.
Bro's having too many children to act this way.
And then Puffs was a big one. I played Uncle Dave, who is this redneck uncle who doesn't really he coexists with the main character, but they don't know each other too well. For a state musical theater scene 2 years ago, I did a scene with Ivy Nelson and Abby. Shoot, I don't remember her last name. She graduated 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think I know who.
And the scene we did was called the I Love You song from the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, which is a mouthful of way too long of a place name, but oh well. And basically in it, the main character is at the spelling bee, and she sings about how her mom left for India to find herself, and her dad is abusive and takes out his anger on the mom on her, and it's like,
you're that dad?
And I played that dad.
No!
Ooh, that's hard.
It was weird.
Yeah.
I don't like how often I've had to play, like, the bad father figure. Mm-hmm. It was interesting with the play that we're doing this fall, The Lost Boy. I was called back for 2 roles. The Old Crow, which is the father figure for Peter Pan. And he's actually a good father figure, like, not a garbage one that I've played a bunch. And then I was called back for Sean, who used to bully the main character in elementary school. And then now he's, like, friends, and he's sort of changed, and you're like, oh, cool
Character
guy.
progression.
Except for he cheats on his wife.
Oh.
So he's still a dirtbag. And I was telling people at callbacks, like, they just took my main typecast and just dissected it in half, and it was like, okay, you'll play one of them probably. And so I'm playing Sean, the dirtbag, but
Lovely.
but Alex Curtis is the double cast for Sean, so I get to hang out with him. So
that's fun.
we take the wins.
Yeah. That's cool.
That is really cool. Okay, so you're also in show choir, right?
I am, yeah.
And do you love that? Do you hate it?
Tell us. It is so much fun. I started doing show choir, I think it was in 10th grade. I was in just beginning show choir in 8th and 9th. And that was really, really fun. And towards the end of, I think it was that 10th grade year, we had Mrs. Shields start coming and help doing the choreography for stuff. And since then, it's just gotten so much worse. Worse as in, like, we've added so much choreography and made it
So just to clarify, you're not throwing shade.
No, not throwing shade at all.
Okay, I was like...
Worse in the sense that, like, more intense.
It's harder.
It's harder.
Got it. He's really calling out this show.
We had 2, before school, the week before school started, we had 2 rehearsals, basically just doing conditioning and exercising. And then the first week of school, we did a bunch of conditioning and exercising. And to this day, we still do so much leg day, and we'll go into the weight room sometimes, and the guys will work on building their shoulders, because we need to be able to do lifts. And all really, really fun things.
Did not know that, like, show choir was so
like
active.
It's a sport.
I am astounded that it's not a PE credit yet.
Yeah.
We have Eric Connect.
Yeah.
He plays baseball, and he has openly said, like, we do more exercise in show choir than we do for baseball.
That's crazy.
And so that's fun. Recently, we haven't been doing as much conditioning and stuff because we've been working on, like, actually learning choreography for our Shakespeare songs.
Yeah.
But
So you guys like competing in Shakespeare with show choir as well?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
That's
cool.
so exciting.
So we did that last year, and we got showcased, but we show choir didn't, like, stay.
Place?
Well, I don't know if we placed. They didn't, like, stay over. They came down to perform and then left. And so this year, show choir is staying over overnight so that they can actually attend the choir award ceremonies, and if we get
you guys
showcased.
don't even know if you place?
No,
That's so funny.
The choir award ceremonies are, like, a separate thing, and we just, like, didn't go to them.
Yeah.
So there's that.
That's sad.
Yeah, but I'm currently there's beginning show choir for, like, middle schoolers and stuff, and Shields isn't helping with that. Instead, we have student directors. So 5th period has their set of student directors, and then 6th period there's me, Jacob Muhlstein, Elisa Estes, and KL Crafts.
That's so
That's
fun.
so fun.
That's stacked.
Yeah, and so tons of fun. Really sucks when we do conditioning for show choir 3rd period and then have to do conditioning again for beginning show choir.
Yeah.
You're like,
That
guys.
sucks. But
getting buff.
Yeah, getting so strong.
Yeah. Too strong. You're like, I'm tired.
I have World Religions 7th period, which is my only class upstairs. So I will go after doing after doing my beginning show choir leg day and just knees shaking walking up the stairs.
You're like, the stairs are so hard.
Yeah.
You're like, I need the elevator pass.
Yeah. And then coming down the stairs is even worse. Like I nearly
You start getting sore too.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, your legs don't work, so you just like fall over.
Yeah, nearly like falling down, steamrolling like a bunch of middle schoolers. Like, sorry guys, leg day.
So
That's
funny.
so funny.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so maybe this is a weird question to ask, but do you guys have you had like a favorite show choir like performance song that you've done?
I think one of our favorites was for the Shakespeare Festival. I believe it was 2 years ago. We had a bunch of songs that we did, and I might be mixing them up with ones we did last year, but we had 2 songs that we did that were in Latin, and they were super cool. And a lot of the songs that we did were what's called polyphony, where it's like you have the sopranos singing one melody with like their notes and their words, and then you have like the tenors that are singing completely different words.
Oh, wow.
At the same time.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And like offsets, the sopranos will come in, then the altos, then basses, then tenors, and they're all singing different words, and it sounds really beautiful.
Yeah.
And so that's been one of my favorites. I also really love, for the end of year concert, we'll have like the big ensemble numbers, and then we will have senior directed numbers.
Ooh, that's fun.
That's so fun.
It's been a blast.
Yeah.
This last year we did, it was themed a Night at the Tonys. The group I was in, we did The Lion King, which was probably like my least favorite of the senior directed numbers. But
I was excited,
digress.
but never mind.
We did The Circle of Life, which was cool and fun. But another group was doing Les Mis, and so
Oh yeah,
So
my
like,
face
guys.
is just like
yeah. So
Yeah.
it was fine. The year before that, Alex Kreiner was one of the senior directors for my group, and we did You'll Be a Dentist from Little Shop of Horrors, and Vicky was the lead for that, and that was a fun one.
Yeah.
And Alex, for one of the ensemble numbers, we did You'll Be Back, and he was King George.
Oh yeah.
And that is still one of my show choir highlights.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so
That's
cool.
gonna be you this year, right? Are you gonna do it? To be like the senior director?
Well, we're kind of required to for show choir at least.
Oh yeah.
It's like part of the grade is you have to be one of the directors. I was a student director for Broadway Rocks this last year.
Oh yeah.
And absolutely loved doing that, and
so
we'll probably do that again.
That's so cool.
That's so exciting.
Oh, it's so exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, so you also do mock trial, right?
Yes, I do.
So that started then, right?
Yep, we have started. Mock trial is interesting because we'll start at like the beginning of the year, but we won't have competition until like February.
Oh.
So
It's just prepping for months.
yeah, we'll take like old cases that have been released that we haven't been familiar with, and we'll practice with those. And then the new cases get released like late November, early December. And so we'll get familiar with those and then compete in February.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So have
That's
you,
really cool.
because I know we were interviewing someone else today who did mock trial, and they're like always a witness. So do you
Right.
have like a specific role that you typically do?
I am pretty much always an attorney.
That's cool.
Yeah. The first year that I did it, we tried having, because you have to be able to do prosecution and defense.
Right.
So the first year I did it, I was an attorney for one side and a witness for the other side. And I wasn't a terrible witness. One of the other attorneys that was questioning me sucked, and I'm still mad about all of that.
Shoot.
See?
Throwing shit.
he has such a stupid question. It's fine. I digress. But since then, that year, Mr. Geary got a lot of feedback of like, oh, we would like being able to like specialize in like attorney or witness roles and sort of thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So since then, I've pretty much just been an attorney. 10th grade, I was almost a witness because it was my first year doing the high school team, and there was a lot of then juniors that would have had like seniority and they wanted to be attorneys, but then one of them dropped out and I had been an attorney for like 2-3 years at that point.
Oh, wow.
So they were like, okay, Porter, do you want to do it? And I was like, sure.
Yes.
Yeah, and so I was an attorney that year. Didn't get to do a lot because I happened to like have a root canal like right before stuff.
Casually.
So like I think I only ended up competing in like being an attorney for 2 trials out of the 4 that were guaranteed, but still did it. Still like practiced with the team and all of that. But was a little mentally groggy because just went through
a little bit on drugs.
Trauma. So that was fun.
Yeah.
So did you go to DC with the mock trial?
I did. Yeah.
That's so fun.
That was a great experience. It was my first time ever flying.
Oh really?
Really?
Yeah. So that was fun.
That's cool.
Yeah. And it was really cool. We went and like did a lot of the tourist things, saw the monuments and stuff.
Right.
But it was also really cool. We went and got to talk with Congressman John Curtis. We talked with John Curtis. We talked with one of Senator Mike Lee's aides who went to Mazer.
That's so cool.
Really?
Yeah, he was Mike Lee's chief policy advisor.
Oh, that's so
is
cool.
a Mazer alumni. And so we went and talked with him. And we actually got pocket constitutions signed by Mike Lee.
That's so cool.
That was a cool flex. And then we got to go in and listen to a Senate debate, basically. We got to go and be like in the Senate and like listen to that. And
that's so cool.
That was so super cool. But it astounded me how much like security for everything. Like I understand like at the Capitol and that sort of stuff, but like we'd go to like museums and have to like have them check our bags and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like I can understand it. Just sort of like a weird culture shock there.
Yeah, it is crazy.
That's cool though.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Kind of switching gears, or could be from that trip, but do you have a crazy Mazer story?
So one of my favorites to tell is a theater tradition. Like after a show or a competition, you go to Culver's.
Sure.
And one of the first times that I went and I was sitting in a booth with Grant Johnson and Jacob Muehlstein, which is the start of all good stories.
Oh yeah.
And they were sharing a concrete mixer, and I think it was after a competition, and we were all really tired and super punch drunk.
The late night, crazy mindset.
And Muehlstein and Grant specifically were on one. They were just like, I don't know what it was, but somehow Muehlstein had taken a bite of his concrete mixer, and Grant had said something that made the whole table erupt in such laughter that Muehlstein shot the concrete mixer out of his nose.
No! Not the concrete mixer! That is thick!
The thickest ice cream available came out of his nose.
Oh! That is painful!
And so...
That is hurting me just thinking about that.
It was great fun.
It's like a what is it called? Soft serve machine coming up the nose.
Yeah.
You just said that. It's so funny.
Yeah, it was that is one that whenever I go to Culver's, like
Just think about
You have
it.
to think about that.
yeah,
You can't not.
whether it's like for like theater things or like I've gone on Culver's like with like other Mazer kids for like group dates, I'm like, let me tell you a story, and
Let
it
me pull
is-
this one out.
it's a great one to have in your back pocket.
Yeah, for
That is
sure. That's
funny.
so
Yeah.
funny.
That's hilarious. Okay, so do you have any plans for after high school?
Yes, I do.
Let's
You
hear them,
do.
please.
So-
He's prepped.
I am planning on going on a mission like
Mm-hmm.
as pretty much as soon as possible.
Mhm. Wait, when's your birthday? Can you leave like immediately?
Yeah. So my birthday is October 19th.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's
Oh, it's
So-
soon.
yeah, it's soon. I am one of the older people in the grade. Not
Yeah.
definitely not the oldest.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm up there.
So you're gonna get your call like before school even ends, probably.
That's crazy.
Hopefully.
That is
yeah.
crazy.
I'm probably gonna end up like at the start of the year start working on my papers.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
that's
That's so
crazy.
exciting.
I'm applying for BYU.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm gonna get in because
Oh, really?
I think my GPA is too low and my ACT score is too low.
That's rough.
Which like it isn't like it's still significantly higher than like the Utah and the state and like the national average.
Yeah.
But just BYU,
BYU's hard.
Has
yeah,
very high standards.
I
Yeah.
looked it up after seeing my ACT score, and the lowest that they like accepted was like a 29, I think.
Oh, really?
No way.
Yeah, but granted, I didn't fact check the Google sources, so take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, so really, I just want BYU for their law school.
Yeah.
So if
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't-
because they like just came out with that, didn't they?
well, no, that's their medical school.
Oh,
They've
okay.
had their law school for a while, and it's a pretty good law school.
Oh, cool.
But if I end up like getting my bachelor's at like UVU and then transferring over and getting like using their law school, I'd be fine with that, especially because my CE credit would like transfer directly over to UVU,
that's cool.
Yeah.
and BYU probably wouldn't take
I know.
a lot
Yeah.
of it. So
Yeah.
So you want to be a lawyer then?
yeah, I do want to be a lawyer.
That's so cool.
I would love more than anything to be an actor. Like that is like the top list.
Peak.
But I also really want to be able to like have a family and have
Pay for
kids.
things.
Yeah.
And actors, like, if they become successful and make it, they tend to go through a rough patch first. And my rough patch as a lawyer would be 7 years of school and then a pretty good paying job afterwards with a lot
Yeah.
of job security. And I do enjoy law, and I'm pretty good at it. So
Makes sense.
should
You
be for
always
that.
do like acting on the side.
Yeah.
You know.
There was a teacher that taught a lot of my siblings in elementary school and then left the year before I could have gotten him. But he worked, was a higher up at the Hale Center Theater in Orem and did a lot of acting as a teacher. So, I could probably still do it as a hobby.
Yeah.
So there's options there.
Yeah, that's so cool.
That's really cool. Do you know what type of lawyer you want to be? Is that a question?
Yes, that is a question. It's a very good question
Okay,
because
good.
there is like so many different types of like fields of law. that
Okay,
you
that's
can
what
go
I
into.
thought.
Okay,
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's like doctor and lawyer. People are like, oh, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, or your parents
You, like-
put that, and it's like, sure, but like which one?
Yeah.
Because there's all sorts of types of doctors, there's all sorts of types of lawyers. I'm currently planning on going into criminal law. I want to become a state prosecutor.
That is cool.
Put bad guys in prison, sort of thing. Help. Yeah, so that's what I'm currently going into. I might be like a personal injury attorney. So like the people that get in car accidents, they have the attorneys that like go and fight the insurance companies, which is tedious and annoying, but they get paid well. And my biggest thing is I want to be a trial attorney. There are like some attorneys that do like go into court pretty often, and then you have a lot of like corporate attorneys that do a bunch of paperwork and stay in their offices and
Not quite as fun.
And they're paid the most, but not quite as fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. That's really cool, though.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for your younger Mazer self? Or anyone younger grades?
Nope.
Oh.
See, here's the thing. I am under the belief that everything that happened for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, the person I am is because I
Made those
experienced
mistakes.
things with the knowledge that I had at that time, and maybe I could help myself out by giving that information, but I am inclined to believe that I am a better person by making those mistakes and learning from them. So, I guess my advice to any younger person watching that is, like, make mistakes, because it's the only way you're going to learn
grow from them.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that.
And I think part of that is, like, I'm the youngest of 8 kids.
Oh my gosh.
So I have been told that I'm fairly wise for my age and fairly smart and intelligent and all that good stuff. And a lot of that, I think, is because I watched all of my older siblings making mistakes, and I'm like, okay, don't do that, don't do that.
Yeah.
That made mom and dad happy. Put that in my back pocket for a rainy day.
Yeah.
So I like to think that helped kind of form my personality there.
Yeah, for sure. That's really cool.
Okay, so I don't know why I said okay like that.
Okay.
It's our senior year, and it's crazy. It's coming to an end. I mean, school, not senior year,
School
because
in general.
we just started. Anyways, but what are you most excited for about senior year, or what have you been most excited for?
I've said this a couple times before. If we don't win Spirit Week, I'm going to commit war crimes.
I'm gonna be
freaking swear.
and we're gonna earn it.
Yeah.
We're
not
100%.
cheating.
We're not cheating.
No.
We're not doing any. The seniors will be won because they're seniors. No, we're
Yeah.
earning that.
Yeah.
We're working.
Yeah. And, like, the past 4 years, we were, like, second place, fourth place, second place, fourth place.
Yeah.
And we got second place last year.
It's not
And
gonna
it's
be
like,
fourth place.
if we get fourth place this year,
No.
I'm going to cry.
No,
Absolutely
actually-
not. Absolutely not. Fourth place would be insulting.
That'd be so sad.
That'd be embarrassing.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah.
It'd be like the class of 2025. They got fourth place as seniors. Like that's so embarrassing.
crazy. Yeah.
That's a big one. I enjoy, like, all the dances at the end,
For
doing
sure.
the senior year,
Oh, yeah.
year.
Yeah.
That's hype. Yeah, those are probably the two that I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah,
for sure.
for sure.
So exciting. Okay, well, thanks for listening to the podcast, everybody. Thanks for coming on, Porter. It was so good to have you, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for listening to this episode of Senior Sessions.
Remember to get your favorite drink at Fizz in Linden today.